Hi, Mikal here. In this week's video, I want to share with you about time again. Like last time, it was up from the top of Mount Hutt in the South Island of New Zealand. Today, I'm in the North Island of New Zealand in Auckland, and we're up here in Mount Eden, up in this reserve. And no, it's not a huge mountain. We don't need masks and oxygen to get up here. We can pretty much drive up here and walk the last bit, but we still get a fantastic view of things up here, and again a different sense of time. And today I want to talk a little bit about relativity we talk about relative time, and because I believe that it can really help us put things into perspective. And when we say, oh, I just haven't got time, or we're getting into this place of stressedness, and just remembering the bigger picture and the bigger picture of time. And one of the reasons I'm up here in Auckland is to see clients. And the other reason is last night my wife came up to, and I had this wonderful privilege of being at a talk with Wayne Dyer, who was here in New Zealand for the first time in 30 years. He's 75, still writing books, written 46 books, and his talk was absolutely inspiring for 2.5 hours or so, probably about a couple of thousand people in the audience. And he was showing us a video about space, taken from the telescope out in space, and talking about we're now looking at a galaxy, one of billions of galaxies, and this galaxy that we are looking at right now in that video he showed us is X number of million light years away. And a light year, I mean, we're talking about a year is a long time, and then we're here for a lifetime, you know, it might be 80, 90, 100 years. And here we're talking about light years, but it is a distance that light travels in a year. And if you know the speed of light, it travels quite fast. And just a distance, like things like our own sun, is like something, I think, 8 minutes for the light to travel to our sun. So when you're talking about a year, it's quite a distance. When you're talking about a million years, like the distance, the time is absolutely incomprehensible to our logical mind. So that's that kind of time. And when we look out there in space, and I'm just looking up at the sun here, it's like it opens at nighttime, looking at the sky and looking at that time. And then we are saying, oh, I haven't got time this week to do the things that are really important to us. And I hope, you know, that like with this, just keep that in mind when you get stressed and worry that, okay, maybe there is time enough at some level. And if we just turn around here and look up here, we're actually at the edge of a crater here. So if I bring this up here and we're looking down, and that's not a big crater, and it's all nice and grassy and green. And as far as I've been informed, it's only a few thousand years ago, like, you know, only a few thousand years since this one erupted. And in the bigger picture scheme of time, that's a short time, but to us, I mean, that's a long time. If I had 3,000 years, wow, what could I do with that? And then we're coming down to the time here today, and it's now getting close to 2 o'clock, and I have to get somebody down to a bus station in half an hour, you know, and suddenly, oh, we're going to make sure we get there, and then there's the traffic, and there's all this thing and time, and very quickly do we narrow in on here today. And when we do that, that's fine, because we need to do that to get things done, to get the shopping done, and to get the dinner cooked, and so on. But if we stay in this closed-in place, then we create tightness and we create tension, and that is unnatural to our very being. It is not what we are made for. We need to reconnect on a regular basis to the bigger picture. We need to look up at the sun. We need to look up at the night sky. We need to come to places like this and be reminded that this one blew up not that long ago. It wasn't yesterday, but it wasn't that long ago in the bigger picture. And remembering that, also reconnecting to our bigger vision, our bigger picture of why we are here in the bigger sense of things, is really, really important. And places like this, I love coming out in places like this and going out and being in different places, because it reminds me of the newness and reminds me of the space that is available, that we have, you and I, pretty much no matter where you are. It's just a matter of taking the time to come out here. And you know, down there is there's my wife, who is up here for the Wayne Dyer with me, and is meeting up with a friend that she hasn't seen for 13 years. 13 years! That's a long time. But that's 3,000 years, and that star up there is 1,000,000 light years away. That for me just, yeah, taking that deep breath and just taking it all in. And let's get back in the car, because we're going to get that person down to the bus station. But now we can do that with a smile on our face and without stressing about it, just getting in, doing what needs to be done, and then coming back again to that center, to that core of that. And I really want to talk a bit more about also some of the key things from Wayne Dyer's talk last night, but I will come back to that in another video later on. So for now, enjoy and appreciate your time.